the moment it seems like the plan that seems logical is start the riot after the shipment leaves, you track the shipment, and during the riot, we possibly free or find this Rudy fellow and kill one blank body.
Yes.
Blank body.
I'm seeing things now that I'm glad I saw. I've been saying this over and over. I think I came here for a reason.
This is right here's your reason, Governor. People trust you since you've been handling yourself straight up.
Kellings. He has a thing of mine. It's a crucifix. I need it back.
Done, Governor.
Now, the hostage thing is good. Take handlebars or whoever.
When the VPO comes for you, if you jump, they will jump.
There's a lot of things that they will refuse us, but this is our chance.
I'm not really sure what just happened. I think she told me that if we find the one who is going around killing, the prince won't be displeased. So then we know this is not the same person, but she didn't know who it was. Isn't that weird? Weird.
This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
Only one prisoner in Armley Jail was hanged twice. John Henry Johnson from Bradford was convicted at Leeds in 1877 for shooting a man. The executioner put a white bag over his head and pulled the lever. The trapdoor opened, but the rope snapped. He was uninjured, but 10 minutes later he was hanged again. The rope held, but his body wasn't motionless until an hour later. Then his body was packed down into the late afternoon sun and never seen again. Some say the body never left the prison. That night, the prison exploded in fire, in improvised knives, in murder, strangulation, in riots. So this is not the first time the old thing has learned that its presence causes unrest. But it's too soon. It shouldn't be this soon. It can't be many minutes after 7 when a sorry-looking doctor knocks on Francis' cell. He looks in through the hatch. Dr. Ward? Morning. He looks terrible, as if the night has been too long and too wet.
I rise from my small bunk, tired myself for different reasons. After all, very soon this experience might be over, one way or the other, but can't let that slip. So I just offer a tired smile, scratch my beard, and I look at this man and say, "Long night?"
He smiles insipidly. It took a while, but we got there. He proudly shows a hickey on his neck and unlocks the door. So today we have a wrap-up of all the paperwork. I mean, I looked through all of it and it looks great, but I mean, there's just a couple of things, and I need to put my crow on some of them. And then we just cart them out around 2 o'clock when the trucks come to pick up the fridges. And voila, that's a wrap.
Yes.
And you have been a very, very valuable volunteer service to this place. And I'll talk to the warden.
Well, thank you. That would be appreciated. Yes, very interesting. Oh, a lot of very interesting blood getting shipped off to interesting places. How exciting. What's going to happen afterwards? Are they going to reuse this place to stock up more blood? Do you think?
I mean, this is my 3rd cycle. Coffee, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
So 3rd run. 3rd cycle. Fridges will come back cleaned, ready to go in a couple of weeks, and then the collection process can start again.
Interesting. Well, knowing my luck, I'm sure I'll be here to help with the next lot.
Well, yeah, at least a couple of lots. The work is not as exciting as it could initially seem, but you do get in very close contact with the blood. Accompanied by the doctor and 2 screws, you go through, check that the temperatures are okay, start disconnecting the fridges, cleaning away a little dirt from the back of them where they've been stood against the wall, making them ready for delivery.
Yes. Here's the tricky part. Obviously, I'm not going to try and swipe blood right now, but I do need to think ahead of where I can put the blood. I mean, I can't just stow a blood bag in my pocket, because by the time it gets to this individual, well, it's going to be pretty warm, and even a human doesn't really do well with warm blood, never mind these individuals. So I'm trying to see, is it possible? I'm sure there's a normal fridge in the main med ward.
Yes.
Yes, that's where I'm going to need to try and stash it. But it's just a question of timing. When do I go and swipe the blood? I'm thinking I'll need to do it just when we're actually moving it. After all, if everything goes according to plan, the distraction will occur shortly after, so they might not have time to notice a missing blood bag. Just one. I need just one.
Yeah, you think you see how you could quite easily slip one of the blood bags out while they're being transported. You will need... If only one needs to be opened at any point, then the automatic alarm and so on won't go off for about 30-40 seconds after it's closed, you have observed. So after somebody's opened and closed it, you could have a small gap where you could seize one. Or just find one, if any are moved about in any way. But this looks like a very efficient solution. That's why the fridges have wheels.
Exactly. No, I think it's going to have to be the last one. The very last fridge. Just before I help load it up. If I can just time it so that I'm the last person leaving behind the procession, I can do it then. And hopefully by the time we get outside and deliver the blood and they suddenly think to check, well, that's going to be up to the dear heroes and all their excitement. For my part, I'm hoping to find them, give them a blood bag, and then find a nice cell to hide in during all this silliness that will occur.
Yeah, when starting to prep the fridges somewhere around lunchtime and moving the first one of them out of the locked room, you take in the fact that half of the blood comes from that single source. So much blood from one single source, that's almost impossible. I've been corrected for years.
It's certainly fascinating, but part of me has resigned myself that the investigations are probably going to have to end now. I'd love to have months to study this blood, months to have this individual in this cell not destroyed, but studied, but I don't have that option. All I can do is get this little blood bag out and help the others finish this operation, and then we can get the hell out of here, hopefully. Let other people track down where the blood's going and investigate the warehouses. I've done my part.
The screws for the transport detail are Mom, 2 other screws, among them Lena, the blonde, slightly corpulent, cheerful one, and Gabriel. Gabriel, Mom, and 2 others. They come dragging a large extra cart for paperwork and for additionals. Things like empty blood bags and other supplies that need to be returned. So you're both there in the same room with the blood. Mom is going through the plan. So, this is the plan for this delivery. We will help many, many people with this great gift. that our custodians have given us in the form of some of their vital fluids. And we will all take them to the storage room, so straight across hall and then into storage room and then keep it there until delivered. We put them on trucks, just wheel them on, they go, everything is good. And yes, we also take the box and we keep it in the old cells by the storage facility, yes? And see if they need.
Sure, boss. I start to haul whatever needs to be hauled.
Yeah, the fridges are pretty heavy and unwieldy, and even though they have integral and very good wheels, sometimes doors are not dimensioned properly for them, so it takes a while and a bit of wiggling. When you're there out wiggling the fridge with Francis, you see Lena taking the box. They haven't stored it in medical. This one seems to come from the VPU or something like that. It's 2 meters times 1 meter big plastic crate with pretty fat locks. As you get it unstuck, she wheels it across the hall and takes it into the old cells, 2 rooms away from the storage facility where you've been told to put the blood. What is that?
So it's big enough to contain a body?
Mom opens a bag in front of you. Yes, also this, deliver of the last blood. Yes, I will take this to the medical. Just make sure box is safe and make sure all of the fridges are here, yes?
Yeah, sure.
Mom walks you back from delivering the fridge to storage into medical and shows a bag. Yes, here are the last of the blood. It's green medical bag. In it is about 8 bags of fresh blood. Yeah, didn't have time for this, so put them in the fridge in a separate place. Yes?
Oh, of course, yes. I'm sorry, could someone give me a hand? And I will idly just look in the direction of Ellis as I say this.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Let me take it. I go and help out.
And as I lean the bag towards Ellis, I will make it so that she can definitely see what I'm doing, but hopefully no one else can, as I just quickly pocket one of those bags into just under my arm. And I kind of, as I'm doing this, just look at her and say, right, there you go. Just give me a minute, I'll be right with you.
Yeah, sure.
As you pawn it as stealthily as you possibly can, one thing strikes you. If these are fresh bags, if they have been tipped in the last 24 hours, they should retain some kind of heat, or at least be the heat of a normal room. But they're not. They're pretty cold. Not as in frozen or fridge cold, but cold, slightly below room temperature. What is this blood?
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, at this moment in time, I do not have time to investigate. Instead, I just about managed to hopefully pull this plan off, whereas I'm the last to leave the room. I quickly just pop back, and I quickly just go to the fridge, the main fridge, and just shove it in that one, before quickly then saying, all right, I'm coming. The hope, of course, is that Ellis will have noticed all of this, but won't be informing anyone. Hopefully, anyway.
And hopefully not Miss Bukur either. She is there formally just to help the doctor with the paperwork. Yeah, the doctor is in a terrible state today, Madeline. He's latching onto you. He seems to have had a rotten night and almost has tears in his eyes as he can't seem to find where to sign his signature and in what order the date papers are and so on. So he takes you along. Can't you just walk along? You're also medical staff here. You could as well sign this for I know what. So yeah, you're also in the group that makes their way towards the storage room. It's a large open space, concrete. The doors here simpler, made of wood, not made to keep prisoners out in the same way. large pull-up door is opened and the afternoon sunlight spills in. You're inside one of the triangles made by two of the wings of the prison. In that cake piece-shaped wedge is the parking lot, and, order intake where food is delivered for the kitchen, and so on and so forth. The outer wall is closed by two large metal gates that are in the process of slowly buzzing a green light and opening. Maybe they're already here.
Well, I for one merely scratch my nose and give Ellis at this point, and of course Miss Baker, a bit of a look, a bit of a nod. My part of the plan is done. One oddly cold blood bag is now in the standard medical unit fridge. It probably will be missed, but hopefully, by the time that's discovered, the prison will be in a very difficult situation.
Mom stands next to you, Gabriel, as the door opens and you can start to see the G4S trucks and the big black fridge truck coming in. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who it is all for? Huh?
Yeah. You don't know?
It's always for one. That's what I know. If I know them right. Our masters.
You've done this a long time?
Oh. Hoping to do it a whole lot longer. Give me one of those bags, the fresh ones. From fridge number 4.
Okay. I hand her one of the bags.
Up in B Ward, the morning has been unusually silent, but tense. The sounds of filing, of polishing, of scratching, of slight bangs. It sounds unnerving even if you don't know that these are the sounds of prisoners preparing their shivs or makeshift little bats or rolling up their underwear to put lead balls in or whatever it is they do. The knock on the door comes almost as a call to execution or something like it. You haven't slept much all night, Paul. Songbird has been reluctantly singing for some hours in the night, but otherwise just been staring at the ceiling, preparing for what could come any second now. Up you go! Time for the work shift! Richards?
I sit up slowly. The Xanax has been surprisingly easy to get a flow on once you start to make friends and call in favors and ideas. But I haven't used that tonight. I feel like I almost have a craving something else right now. I can't put words on it. I throw my legs over the side, jump down. Yep, we're up. I look down at Songbird.
He looks away from you, doesn't even meet your eyes. So, have a good work shift then.
And you? Sure you don't want to be part of this?
I can't go out now.
You can.
No, I can't go out now. Not now.
A lot of people appreciate what you do here. You're being a part of something. Being part of my life too. You can be part of this. I try to read him. Is there anything particular today that's going on?
His body language is tense. It's hard to know exactly. He seems resentful and scared.
I feel like from him previously betraying me, there's a sudden bit of anxiety going through me. What has he done this time? Did I say that? What have you done this time?
I'm not done nothing. I've been singing. I've been good. I've helped you out. I just you go first. I'll come after.
Can I trust him? I ask myself.
Insight and wits, perhaps.
2 successes.
He's sad, he's tense, and he's afraid. And that's it. Just like most of the prisoners must be right now. Hey, Richard!
I pull on my slacks and I go over.
Outside is a school you don't recognize, and you see handlebars is just coming in through the door at the edge of the landing. But yeah, this is someone else, some temp or something. He's gathering up their work shift. You can see on the other side of the net, on the other side of the ward, there's you see Lamprey and a few other rough customers gathered in for the other part of the work shift. Not an unusual thing in itself, but there's the silence, occasional scream somewhere, and then as somebody shouts particularly gutturally, "Fuck you!" He looks straight at you. There's a heartbeat. 2. He locks eyes with you. Screws are there. You're 10 on the platform. You know what he's thinking. Is this the time? It's too early.
Are the cells open?
3 other cells are open.
Will it be enough?
They have the keys. Screws have the keys. But it's too early. It's before 2 o'clock. This wasn't supposed to happen until 5 in the evening.
And what does it mean if I go now and just do my work duties? When will there be time to come back?
That's gonna be, around 5, 6 when you're locked in and then serve dinner.
But it's gonna be more close to the actual time.
It is.
Is it gonna be an opening?
You see Lamprey looking at you. I see his eyes narrow, and he slowly shakes his head and looks down and touches one of the other's shoulder. And they start walking away. But Handelsbars is still coming straight for you, locking eyes. Meanwhile, on the loading docks, 2 box-like G4S maximum security transports escort the black fridge wagon unmarked, seriously chunky, heavy suspension, probably armored. It rests low on the swollen wheels. 2 transports, 4 guys in each, reflective vests and sidearms and truncheons, 1 with a machine gun, relaxed like this is something they do every day. Probably is. It's not little security, nor is it overkill in this age of terrorist threats and unrest. The black fridge wagon pulls into the side of the loading bay and starts opening the back door as it tries to maneuver into optimal position to pull down a ramp so you can easily load the fridges.
I tried to look at the guards and see if they have any signification or something that I can figure out who they are, or if they are working for some kind of company, even if it's a cover, or I just try to look at them to see what I can get from just...
Yeah. The most common renta guards there is, so G4S pulls from a wide range of backgrounds of security professionals, so it's hard to know if they were originally cops or screws or just, doormen. But at least 2 of them carry themselves with the ease of trained military personnel. The other ones look more like jacked up parket ticket guards or something. You identify it's the guy with the machine gun and the girl who is now going through the paperwork. Only a couple of feet in front of Francis, leafing through it and signing some of the transport bills and so on.
I raise an eyebrow. I'll give Ellis a little bit of a look, but otherwise I'll say nothing. It certainly is interesting, after all. Even if guns sometimes are necessary in these times, the idea of blood needing gun protection to this level is extremely suspicious. Normal people would definitely think that. But I know a little better, at least. And I think to myself, this is certainly, in Ellis's defense, some proof that the blank body infection has spread to some members with a lot of power in society. I do find myself wondering, though, how strange it is to think that's possible. After all, so many of the infected have been feral terrorists or strange couriers, and they haven't really seemed to have survived very long when we've actually uncovered them. So the idea of thinking that some are upper echelons of government is amusing. Amusing, I suppose.
There's a few beeps as the armored fridge wagon maneuvers into position and starts opening. Out of the bag walks a suit, 3-4 sizes too large suit, a gangly old man in his 60s. He walks with a unhurried little shuffling gait, pushing up his greasy glasses in his forehead. The accountant-looking fellow steps up to the G4S guard and looks at Francis, and the doctor looks at Bukul, looks back and then looks back at Bukul. He goes, yes, one of the fresh samples, please. Mom pushes you in the side, Gabriel. Oh, one of the fresh samples. Give one to him.
Oh, okay, sure.
Mom carefully shows you one of the ones that were just recently, this morning, put into this fridge. It seems exceptionally important that it is one of those. She makes sure that you grab that one, none other.
I do, and I take it and I go and hand it to him.
He takes it, turns around and talks with his head away from you. Give me 15 minutes. He walks into the fridge car, and the back of the fridge car closes.
I raise an eyebrow, and I just give Ellis another little quick look. Part of me is also quite interested watching Ellis right now, after all. So much of this blood is right there in front of her. I wonder what's going on inside her mind.
Mom looks up at you, Gabriel. Yes, hope they like it. Be good to get rid of it.
What happens if they don't?
Yeah, then we get to keep the box. We don't want
What's in the box?
She looks at you with deep disappointment. Handlebars is coming straight for you. He's not there to bring you to work shift, that much is clear. There are 2 other guards with him. The now quieted work shift has just made its way halfway to the exit to towards the radio when he walks up to you.
Mosley.
Richards?
Handlebars. How are you today?
Yeah, it's good. So, he pulls out the paper, looks at it. You can feel Lamprey's gaze in the back of your head.
What have you got for me?
You are to be immediately relocated to the vulnerable prisoner unit to better take care of your health and the health of your fellow prisoners for the duration of your sentence here with us at Armley Jail.
Really? I was under the impression that I might have another strike or try defense against me. That's what I understood yesterday from the governor. Did he change his mind?
Apparently so. So yes, if you would please proceed to start packing your belongings. He stretches forward 2 canvas bags, about the size of hockey bags. Your entire life is supposed to go on. Going to some other weird fucking existence. You can see the body language of the others. They are staring at you, all of them. Tense, ready. You see Lamprey even maneuvering to get within line of sight of you again. He's holding something behind his back. One of the others is tense. The others are doing their best to talk to the guard. The guard is laughing, out of balance.
If we do it now, I think to myself, there is a great risk that the whole place will be shut down, that plans will be revealed, that the blood, the opportunity for it to be tracked will be missed. I can do the rest later. Need to keep our heads cool. I take the bags slowly. And I give a nod. And then I say to Handlebars, a minute to say goodbye.
You have an hour to pack. We'll be here on the landing.
A nod. Take the bags.
The rest of the work shift starts moving past you, and as there's a thick of 8 or 10 bodies deep between you and the nearest crew, Lamprey comes close to... Crash, how's your father? What the fuck is going on? We gotta do it now.
Gotta keep it cool. We can do this. There is a way.
Can't keep the Golden together. Crash, how's your father? How am I supposed to keep them from doing anything now? Yeah, you got 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah, when you go out of here, this place goes up in flames. You know how much people like you. You know how you've been standing up.
Yeah.
You know, people put their trust in you. If they take you...
Do you get it? The thing?
Yeah, it's right here behind my back. He turns around and spills the crucifix into your hand, heavy, weighty.
I let it fall into the bag.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright. Work shift end latest. If we hear noise down there, we go down there. Otherwise, talk to guys in the shop.
Got it.
The work shift moves out. They will be working in the clothing sorting station in the wing, 2 wings away. You know that the clothing station workshop is within earshot of B-wing, but you still need to pass through the radio, both of the gates, and be split up.
How can I work this to my advantage?
You have 1 hour packing down your shit. 1 hour to decide on how to plan this. Chance lost? Will they just do nothing if you do nothing? You hear the beating of somebody ramming a table against the wall.
You can't keep us in here to die! You know that? Somebody's gonna fucking tell the press! Somebody! Fucking get them! You can't treat us like this! Let's go vengeance for this! You treat us like animals, you know? That's not fun! Clear up!
Tom, give me strength. Give me patience. Give me patience. 1 hour. That should be enough to let the trucks get a move on. I'll have to risk it.
It takes pretty much exactly 20 minutes before the man in the suit emerges from the black armored refrigerated truck. He comes back without the bag. Takes the rest of the paperwork, signs it. Looks at Madeleine. Nods.
Yes.
Mom turns around and says, "All right, bring the box. They want the box. Gabriel, Lisa, you come help carry the box."
Sure. I go towards the cell with the box.
Every step you take closer to the cell with the box is awkward. Because once you're in there, in the cell, an old disused one, you fear that your suspicions are right.
Yeah. Who is in that box?
Yeah. He's very heavy, whomever it is, as you start lifting it, hefting it a little bit. It must be.
Fuck.
It's a very heavy box. I bring the wagon.
You do that. Shit.
Mom goes out together with Lisa to fetch the wagon, to drag it onto again, to move it out. There he is.
What type of day is it? Is it day or is it night?
It's pretty late in the afternoon. Closer to 4 now. They were slightly delayed. It's an overcast day.
Even if I could get it open, I couldn't move him.
Yeah. Maybe. It's pretty late.
He wouldn't be able to. Fuck.
Wait, can I see on the paperwork where it's supposed to go?
You step in and start looking into the paperwork. See anything. You see, there is no separate shipping order for the box. The entire thing is supposed to go to to changing central somewhere and then being offloaded into another thing. No, this is made so that it's impossible for you to know, except that it goes to somewhere in Exeter.
I deem that I will have trouble getting him out without anybody noticing, but I might be able to fuck up the lock so he can take it in his own power, maybe. So I briefly look at the lock and try to assess if I can kind of bust it and then put it back so it looks like it's still there, but it's actually open.
Maybe you could, and they wouldn't hear you because the sounds of the impending riot is everywhere.
Yeah.
Would hide your actions.
So...
But it sounds close. Somebody's screaming now. Fuck, has it already started? Has Paul already started it?
Jesus. I want to... Can I use something to bend with so I can or... I doubt I could just pull it.
You have a one of these collapsible batons on your belt. You should be able to bend and break open one of the locks with it.
Because then I want to do that and I want to rouse my blood so I can get stronger, I suppose. And I get hungrier.
Yeah, you feel it straining, churning in your stomach as you push the blood around, almost lightheaded as it's all in arms and legs, and out it goes. You try for it. That's a strength plus...
melee, I guess.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. You have to beat it open.
What should I do otherwise? Which...
Yeah, it would be some sort of mechanics or larceny. Yeah, larceny for getting it open in an elegant way.
No. I'm not a finesse kind of girl.
There you go.
3.
There's sparks flying, and you see the lock wiggles a little bit on its side, but it's not completely broken.
Again!
Try for it again with all your force. And there it goes. There's a clanging bang and it crushes open.
Fuck.
But just in that exact moment, that blonde face is staring in. It's Lisa the guard. She's seeing you do it. There's a split second. What do you do?
How close is she?
She's 3-4 meters away.
I take 2 quick steps and just grabs her the front of her uniform and just drags her in. And I'm intending to just knock her out. Quietly, hopefully.
Give me one of those melees plus, say, wits to do it fast and silent.
Yes. 3.
Yeah, you manage to pull her in and just try to get her head down, choking her, putting a elbow blow into her head. She looks at you confused. She's like... She's completely submitting. No, don't hurt me, don't hurt me.
Shh. I look at her. She's quiet, right?
Yeah, she's quiet. She's under your control.
I'm just gonna squeeze her out until she faints. Not hurt her, if I can.
Yeah, choking her out, and there she goes. She went pretty fast. Yeah, that should be good.
Good. Then I check the lock to see if it's like totally busted or if I can, if it can look like it's...
Good enough if nobody checks it.
Yeah, good. I look at her. I didn't do any damage, did I, on her, right?
No, not really.
Okay. Then I stick out my head in the corridor and be like, hey! Lisa, she fainted or something. Can someone give me a hand here?
One big black-haired guy with furry eyebrows comes in like, oh shit. Okay, I'll take her to medical and I'll call in Pauline and Lisa for reinforcements. I'll call in Pauline and Hannah for reinforcements.
I don't know what happened. She was just she was fine and then she was not. So just check on her, okay?
You sure? He goes up to her. He goes down on his knees and starts looking at her a bit suspiciously. What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
Hey! Yeah, he bangs in the face, looks at... She's got to pass out. She's got a pulse. She's passed out. But yeah, I need to get her to... Help me, we need to get her to the medical.
Yeah. Where's the other person? Where's it one more? Because we need to be 2 to carry the box.
Yeah, Mom comes back with the wagon, with the metal wagon.
Good. I'm trying to kind of stand in the way for the lock, so I'm shielding the lock a bit with my body as I intend to help them with the box.
Mom looks at the groggy Lisa, moving back with stretched by the bigger guard, and she smiles at you a little bit.
Yeah, I give her like a little shrug where I'm like, sorry, couldn't help myself kind of look, hoping she will interpret it that I took a little snack maybe, or something.
She looks you up and down, looks at the box. Yes, Maybe we can load it just us.
Sure. Let's do that.
Meanwhile, I'm waiting outside, and what am I doing? Part of me is assuming that now the police are loading up the trucks. Am I not going to be escorted back to the medical ward?
Yeah, of course you have. There's still one screw out there on the platform, and the guards are doing most of the lifting. The doctor is helping to push the wagons also, expecting you to push them the first bit of the way. One after one they go into the hold of the refrigerated black van. The accountant is standing by carefully writing down the letters and serial numbers of the range of the blood bags, each of them meticulously with a metal-tipped pen.
Well, I suppose this is the moment Miss Bakur does her thing, and I kind of look over in her direction, wondering if she has people waiting down the road, or, again, how many people even does she have, Miss Bakur? The one thing that annoys me most about all this is I still have no idea who she even works for. What was they called again? Something like the Arcanum or something, a nonsense name. Still, I shrug and do as I'm told, and briefly look over in the direction, perhaps, where Ellis suddenly calls out to some guards, and I wonder what's going on over there.
Yes, I'm feeling quite antsy about that. I really want to go and check on them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the old, if you want something done right, you need to do it yourself.
Yeah, you go out into the corridor and you take the door 2 doors down. In there's Gabrielle and Mom is loading a big plastic crate onto a moving cart.
Yes, alright.
There's somebody hobbling off to the medical ward as well. One of the guards. Pretty bad shape.
I look at you, Madeline, and I make a little head jerk towards the box, trying to signal that Rudy is in there, probably. But I don't dare to make anything more apparent than that.
And the guard who's hobbling off, is she, like, hobbling off quietly, or?
She's being supported by another one of the guards.
If they seem to be walking off without any trouble, and the box is being loaded as it should be, and then there's not really much else we should do.
Yeah, you start preparing the message to go out. The cars are on their way. Just as the first scream comes in from the medical ward, one of the guards is going out, pointing at Ellis. And at the same time, the sounds of screaming start erupting. From cell after cell, there's a large metal bang from above. Something's happening.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the 3rd season of the chronicle No Man is an Island for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Our storyteller was Martin Ericsson, and we were also joined by Anna-Karin Linder and Freja Gyldenstrøm. The music was created by Lola Zaza, and the sound effects are from the fine folks at freesound.org, zapsplat.com, and Syrinscape. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, Bob Lange, Julián, Cameron, Ryan F., and Xabier for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check it out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. And remember, death is not the end.